remember the violence. We have produced great men in this community. Men of impeccable integrity, and who stood for what is the best value we can have as a people, as a nation. I was, when Conzolo was accused of calling somebody Mushenzi, that thing was resolved. We all have some kind of excesses here and there, but that may not define who we are. What is important is we have come to bury a dear person. When I saw my sister mother, I didn't see her, Mother Kasanga Mulo and her kids. I looked for her at the Nairobi Baptist Church, and I think our pastor Seo Musula and the community of Nairobi Baptist Church, Senior Pastor Pinto was presiding, because we would go there. We made Nairobi Baptist Church, ABC and AIC as occasion would demand, and we have our kids grow up there. And Alex, you spoke well. I want to confirm to you there will be no stress. We will not cause any stress to you, because the argument was settled. We used to argue in Mutula, who is corrupting whose name? We had that argument wherever we would meet. And it was because, as I said in church, at the Baptist church, that we were managing some kind of stress. And here, when I see my younger brother Mutua here, and my younger brother Deputy Governor, I always call him Mweke, people we have actually also mentored in a way. As we manage stress, Mutua na Mweke, I'm just a telephone call away. I'm just a telephone call away. Because we must hold together as a people. That is who we are. That was the example I had with my senior brother here, solid DP. And I also want to confirm, I said it in church, Democratic Party candidate in Mbeere North did not lose. And thank you, Junior, for bringing it out. We have to do something about this new concept of goonism. We hold the view, along with my colleagues, because we were discussing as we came, that any leader who is given to violence and evidence is demonstrably clear that they are the authors and the perpetrators of electoral violence, they cannot get away with it. Therefore, we will not allow them to get away with the violence in Malava and the violence in Mbeere. We will not. And it's not just that we are chest thumping or anything. We owe it to this country and to men and women who have stood on principle, like our late brother Conzolo Munyao. So, as we go forward, we do so with confidence. Now we know we are riding on the strength of character of men like Munao. You know, Kenya Meat Commission had collapsed until Kibaki made Munao Minister for Livestock Development. And you have heard my sister from my clan, Mweke. You know, when your boss said, this Kalonzo man is not a cattle farmer. We are working in Dengu. And because I had said we were saying no to vaccination of our livestock, which we knew nothing about, and I'm happy that that thing died, by the way. So you can see the work of real opposition, because it died. The fact that William Ruto called me Mutua and Dengu, he spent 4 days in Kitui, I hope you reminded him, we still keep livestock, even as we grow Dengu. These are Dengu growing area and also cotton. So these are also nice things. We don't take it against him. No, absolutely not. We don't take it against anybody. We take everything, and that is what Consolo taught us. Take in the stress and don't let it define your character. And on my own behalf and my family, Pauline and the kids, some are grown now, they're young men and women, you saw them, I think at the other funeral of your minister. And so, yeah, they all stand with this family, Alex. They all know you. And we don't want you to think we've come here for political gain or any reason. We came to bury one of us. And in Munyao, of course, like we came last year, we were here when we said kwaheri to Mama Agnes. Kone kukitumitukie. Nakaitu tungeinga imubea maunduni onde. Our spiritual leaders included. You know our position. And we know there are things you have to do. For example, Governor Mutula knows the party position. If the national president, the president of the republic comes to Makueni, he has to be there. But the national president has to discuss, to actually agree and recognize that there are two governments, parallel governments, but they need each other. So that recognition is important. You gave the condolences of Governor Wabinya, who had wanted to be here, because we know that there's a time president comes to Machakos, the governor cannot speak, and this is what makes people wonder, what is it? It's not a crime to be in opposition, because opposition ends up being the government in waiting, as indeed is the case. So we are so happy they brought out their very worst in this recent by-elections. We now know their game plan. There are no other games to play. And this country cannot be like any other country. Our brother, a senior brother, governor, professor, because professor said the students are telling him they don't want Kenya to be like Tanzania. Kenya will always be Kenya, because our young people have inspired a progressive revolution, not only in the continent, but the world over. And they've been watching. And you cannot steal for them. They are still very angry at Bishop. You need to own them, because they even have issues about the church on corruption. When a president comes and says, I'm giving you 120 million shillings, and we know his salary is just under 2 million, obvious, disproportionate misuse of power, state power. That's what Munyao would never have done. So we were with him, of course, in NAC. I know our sister Charity would really have loved to be here, and she's out in the US. But you can see the example of NAC. That time nobody believed Kanu could lose. Kanu went on to lose. And let nobody deceive you, fellow Kenyans, until you can divide the opposition. The elements and the commitment and even the ideological positioning of who we are in opposition cannot be broken. When we were in court, and it was Weta, who is the speaker who read his eulogy here, and Raila and myself, before Musalia came and they talked about Nasa Hawa, ended up Kunaswa Wao. We used to say that the cords, it is biblical, bound by cords that cannot be broken. This is what this community is at Bishop, and I spoke to you after the last election, and you said, Kindu kimu kiume lile wazi, nimbaino ni nengete ndaya, nambaino ndi za ugudhia, nambaino ndi kaa kunewe kelele ne mundu yoyote, nundu ibinda nevikie, riba kubekutika isi ukone, na nondo kuone tu either the names here, what is the name of this ngiloni? These people are very good in honey keeping, beekeeping. That's why they are the ngilo, okay, one ngilo. Na we moyomo no, yeah. By tutu, by to vikie, by kusiokane tina, by mbeso na si by to know the integrity of community no. kana kuwa your party leader na ningo mutongea mubea inyo ndo mama kuene mwethe wa mustale wambe awene tuwese nangaya mwadhime even as we say kwaheri to our cherished brother. And this family will hold together. Anything, Alex, you think we can do together, we are always there. We bring condolences from our brother, your big cousin, Regiji. So unajua Regiji alisema ndiye community spokesman. Alisema kana ina Kalonzo theba ikendumu kumukoli ya. I think he spoke in Mbone kwa Monyaka. When a community spokesman, and you can see that it's very easy. Now we are real cousins. These are cousins. And so we thank you. You send his greetings and condolences as well to this family and all the other leaders. Now allow me to invite, I think I will call first of all my brother Eugene, so that when JB comes over, he exercises full authority as a party leader of the Democratic Party. May the good Lord rest the soul of our brother in eternal peace. Amen.
God is good and all the time. Asanteni sana. Please allow me to bring my condolences to the Munyao family and to the people of Mboni. Poleni sana kumpoteza mzee. Tulikuwa hapa mwaka jana na rafiki yangu His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, na tukija hapa ilikuwa mazishi ya Mama Agnes Munyao. Mwaka huu tena mmepoteza baba. Tuko hapa kusema pole kwenu for losing both your mother and your father just a year apart. Ni uzito mkubwa sana. When we came to bury Mama last year, I remember people were saying behind every successful man there's a successful woman. We mourn together. Today we come to mourn a great leader, patriot. Many people do not know how much Mzee Munyao contributed to the success of the Mwai Kibaki presidency. Through the years in DP, all the way until Kibaki was sworn in, Mzee stood by him. So likewise, behind every great leader, there are even greater leaders like Munyao, on whose shoulders Kibaki stood with Wamalwa as his vice president. Kibaki stood with Kalonzo as his vice president to become one of the greatest presidents Kenya has ever had. That is the kind of leader we have come to mourn today. He was a leader of integrity, and if we want this country to change, in 2027, we must put integrity on the ballot. That is the only way this country is going to change. And even as we come to Kambani to celebrate this great leader of great integrity, we do know that there are still leaders here of great integrity. I want to agree with His Excellency Governor Mutua that you have such a leader in the leader of the Wiper Patriotic Front, ambao Kenya iko inamwangalia sawa sawa. Na tukija hapa tunaomba watu wa Ukambani, huyu Kalonzo mumwangalia na macho yote mbili. Huyu Kalonzo mumshike na mikono yote mbili. We have been across this country and I know what I'm talking about. Leo nimesikia Speaker Kingi akiongea kule kwetu Western, amekuwa area Mount Elgon, anasema eti dalili ya mvua ni mawingu. Ushindi wa UDA kwa hizi by-elections, record ya Mheshimiwa Ruto is unbeatable, and therefore 2027 is a foregone conclusion. Amesema ya kwamba we'll have a competition in 2027 without a competitor, because William Ruto has no competitor. I want to tell Bwana Kingi, this was the case the day Goliath was walking and chest thumping and saying, who can beat me? Until little David came with a stone. I want to tell Speaker Kingi, this was the day that the great engineers boasted and said, the greatest ship ever made, the greatest engineering feat in the history of engineering, the Titanic was unsinkable. The day the Titanic sank, they said it was unsinkable. So today we come home to celebrate this great leader and to tell those who are just stamping because of the rigged elections in Bere, where his party won. The Democratic Party won Bere. And I want to congratulate my brother JB here, who led that campaign. Mzee would have been buried today with a victory for his great party, the Democratic Party, if it was not for the rigging. And we want to say today, the democracy that Munyao fought for with Kibaki and his team, the team that brought the second liberation in this country, the team that brought back multi-party democracy at great sacrifice, that democracy is in great peril. If we cannot allow free and fair elections in our country, then the democracy that Munyao fought for is in grave danger, even as we bury him here in Boni today. We must do everything to defend that constitution that he fought for, to fight and protect multi-party democracy in our country, because it can be lost. Where there is violence, where there is intimidation, we cannot have free and fair elections. And this is what happened in the by-elections that I've had Speaker Kingi boasting about, that they won. And today we are saying, IEBC, you had an opportunity. This was a litmus test for you, Chairman Ethocon and your commissioners. And you are tested, and you are tried, and you are found wanting. You fell short, Bwana Ethocon, with your commissioners. Because where there are lives lost, limb and life lost because of an election, blood was shed, we cannot say there was a free and fair election. And we are therefore asking that IEBC must, within the powers given in the current constitution, in the current legal framework, I know, Governor, you have said that we need more laws to strengthen this, but even within the existing legal framework, IEBC has the powers to stop an election because of violence, allow free and fair elections. But they did not exercise that power when people were killed in Kaspu, when people were killed and vehicles were torched in Malava, where I was with my candidate, and when there was serious violence in Bere. IEBC fell short. IEBC has powers to summon those who are involved in the violence. They have the powers to actually summon those who organized, those who financed the chaos that we witnessed. And unless they do that, 2027, like Speaker King is saying, there will be no election. We'll be going to, and that will be a grave injustice to great leaders like Munyao who fought for this democracy. We cannot allow Kenya to go down the route that Tanzania is taking. Sitaki niseme mengi, niseme poleni watu wetu wa hapa. Juzi tulikuwa hapa na mkutano wa Mheshimiwa Rais. Kuna projects nyingi aliongelea hapa. One of them that is very dear to my heart is the Twake Dam. When I was Minister for Water and Irrigation, we came here to launch that project. We pumped in a lot of money, but that project stalled. For the last 3 years, it has stalled. There were promises to complete it. I heard the Deputy Governor speak about drought that is coming, and we can already feel it. The long-lasting solution, the game changer for Makueni, Kitui, all the way to Machakos, is having water stored in dams and distributing that water. That will be the lasting solution that will change the livelihood of people in this county and in this country. So let me thank you all. Niseme Bwana JB, I think it is your turn. Uje uendelee kwa niaba ya DP. Welcome. And on behalf of the Democratic Action Party, we say pole to you as the party leader with our DP team. Na niombe sana, kule kwetu tunapenda kutuma salamu. Waluo wanapenda kutuma salamu sana. Mniruhusu tu mzee apeleke salamu zangu kwa ndugu yangu Wamalwa kijana na rafiki yake Mwai Kibaki. Awaambie kile mzee ulituambia when you held a memorial service for Mwai Kibaki, your friend, this year, and you told us mfuate ile barabara mimi na Kibaki na Wamalwa tulifuata, barabara ya umoja. Kanu had more money than us, but because of our unity we were able to beat Kanu. Mfuate hiyo barabara, mzee tumefuata barabara, wote tumeungana tukaunga DP kule Mbere. Tumeungana tukaunga DAP kule Malava. Tumeungana tukaunga DCP kule Pwani Magarini. 2027 mzee, tunafuata ile barabara ya Wamalwa na Kibaki, tutaungana, tutoe mgombezi mmoja wa urais, hii serikali ya Wantam. Asante.
Kwa familia ya rafiki yangu Joseph Konsolo Monyao, kiongozwa na rafiki yangu Alex, the church led by Archbishop, the entire clergy. Appreciate you, fellow mourners. Permit me, before I give my condolences, to first of all honor my friend, Honorable Konsolo Monyao, who is a founder member of the Democratic Party, to allow me to lay on his casket the flag of the party is so much cherished. And I want to be able to do that, to invite Alex, who is an active member of the party, and the national leaders of the Democratic Party who are present here to come and assist me to do that. Please, the Vice Chairman, I've seen the Vice Chairman, members of NEC, Alex.
To the late Honorable Now's children and family, please accept my heartfelt condolences as we join in mourning a great patriot whose life and service is reached our nation in many ways. With the death of Honorable Now, Kenya has lost a selfless leader.
Eulogy tila eulogy le amekuya kurukia utana na wile mwana stop it hata biala mekuya ni mambo ukia kiwa sile la ndo dile zaona dongo imesimie izetu imesimie big no it was out right yeah na tukite tolerance ni breed ya violence. Kwa hivyo ekaitu ingekila utumitwe na mtu mwanda mmawa